Welcome, welcome. Can you hear me okay? Yes? Good.
Ina would like to speak.
Ina? Hi, Ina.
You're still muted, Ina. Can you unmute yourself? Or? I'm trying to unmute you, but somehow it doesn't work. Here you are.
So sweet to hang out like this. Ina.
Yeah, really. I like to share something, Isaac. What
I'd love
happened
to hear.
Yeah, what happened to me after the last meeting?
Okay.
Um, I realized that this system is helped a lot by your pointing to stay in this moment and see if you can love this moment as it is.
Mm.
And that I realized deeper after that meeting.
Mm.
And I also realized that there's a part in me or an organization or the totality, I don't know. But there is a part in me which really like needs to believe that it makes a difference to live from love and light. So it feels like it's good to have the information and to feel what is happening in the world, and it's fine to see what action this system can take. And at the same time, this system doesn't like it when the energy becomes too heavy, because then it feels like it's pulling down. And when I can stay in the as love, then it feels like whatever will happen, we are in this together, and it will be of service that we can that we live the love that we are, that we can live everything that you have taught us, we teach each other.
Yeah.
That we can stay present with whatever comes up.
Yeah.
And also
including the heaviness. That's the beauty.
Including the heaviness. But it's like different than when it pulls down.
Yeah. Even being pulled down, and just resting in that being pulled down. It's like, I'm just watching. To me, it seems like a birthing happening right now.
Yeah.
A huge birthing.
Yeah.
And today, I don't know, all around the world, huge solidarity. People, cops kneeling in front of black people, taking the knee, which, a little while ago, that was not heard of.
Yeah.
Police hugging black people across the country in America, but then huge protests all around the world. So it's hard to know, we're in the middle of a huge reorganization where, like, we've been blasted with, like, the possibility of a very horrible future.
Yeah.
From every news media, from just like everywhere. And then trying to scare people into, and then somehow enough people are seeing and going. And I mean, it's amazing what's going on. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I understand that it's also from value to let yourself be pulled down. But there's also a part in it, which I recognize from my childhood, that was not much helping.
Yeah.
So and I'm so happy I grow over that.
Yeah.
So that's a distinction, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, we've spoken about it too, about how, like, even in the concentration camps, people were able to rest as even in those circumstances.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to me, how much that inspires me to see that we have that
Wow.
capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever read The Choice? The Eva Eger? It's the most beautiful book I have been reading in the last years. And it's she came in the concentration camp together with her sister and her parents. And she writes about, in all circumstances, having a choice. It's so inspiring, really. Afterwards, she becomes a psychotherapist. And then she meets someone as a client, and he speaks awful things, which touches her in this concentration camp experiences. And then she realizes that she has to go deeper in herself to be able to be also loved for that.
Yeah.
It's a very inspiring book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Just connecting our little heart flame with all the little heart flames all over the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't realize somebody sent me a link today about what's going on astrologically, and wow, it's like, they just pointed out when this was going on astrologically, this happened, and now that all three of these things are happening at the same time right now. It's an intense time.
Yeah. Yeah, that also gives her an excitement, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somehow we hear at this time.
Yeah. And that also gives a kind of trust in the life force. Ah, touched. Thank you, Isaac. And thank you, group.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. I'll unmute.
Hey, Isaac.
No, I'm sorry, Freesia, but it's Jennifer first. It was a bit of a confusion, so if you don't mind.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Isaac.
Can you see me?
I can.
Fantastic.
Can you see me?
I see you perfectly. You're looking really well. I'm curious what you notice, because for me, there's a really sweet deepening in you that I'm feeling and sensing.
I feel a deepening, but I woke up, well, in the middle of the night here, just feeling such a deep fear in my system. And as Ina was talking about, I just had um, such an expansion, and then there's that contraction, which feels like that deep heaviness. So it's like my system feels like it's, I don't know, I just feel like I'm being like buried in something, and my system just goes into this panic.
Yeah.
I mean, something feels grounded, but something feels panicky at the same time. It's strange.
Yeah, so, just to me, it's an important time to recognize that what's going on in the field is unprecedented in a way. And somehow, because of all how we've been exploring, we're so sensitive to the field, and not to take it personally, just to notice that panic, even that panic, just let's be present to that in the moment, and let's let it rip together, holding hands. Just let's see if it can do anything to us. It can be there. How beautiful. We've named it. It's panic. Okay.
Panic, and I don't know if you can feel it, but there's like a freeze in my system. The focus just goes to stop it.
Yeah, I understand. And so just even allowing that focus to stop it, just watching every little nuance of this. But it's funny, because even with all of that going on, there's a light shining through you, Jennifer, that's the clearest I've ever seen it. And I'm, it's like, so, yeah, so just here. And just seeing what happens. We're just watching and just naming it as it goes on, but wanting to get away. Okay, and here we are. We're not moving. And if it's too much, I'm here. I'm holding your hand. I'm right with you. I'm not moving, not a millimeter. Just I'm here.
It feels scary, but there feels like there's a little space for it.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Just resting. Just we curious. We don't not know, no expectation, no agenda for it to go, anything. We just exploring what happens if we just lovingly present with it. Let's just see what it reveals. For me, there's a lot of releasing going on in my hands and body. It's just beautiful. So. And there's no disconnect. Our hearts are meeting. It's just absolutely just here. It's beautiful. In the midst of fear and panic and not wanting to get away from it, here we are. We're just here. What are you noticing? Just resting here. Absolute resting, no effort, just here.
It feels like it's being met in some other way, that it felt very alone.
Yeah. Yeah. It came in my mind, it's like if these were my last moments on earth, I would love to spend them like this with you, right here.
Mm. It's strange because I feel really connected to you, but I feel that freeze in the system at the same time. It's like, I don't know,
same thing. Just the way you're speaking it, you can see there's some resistance to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's beautiful to notice it. Noticing the freeze and noticing the resistance to it, and it's all welcome here. You're bigger than both of those, both of them, the freeze and the resistance to it. So just they welcome here. Who knows what we're tapping into, you know? How much freeze has there been in the human nervous system through the ages, yeah? And how much resistance to that, yeah?
Yeah, something just felt like I wanted to cry.
Let it cry. Oh, sweet tears. Finally, even freezing is getting met with loving presence, yeah?
Mm. Yeah, something feels bigger than all of it.
Yeah, yeah. This is huge. Mm-hmm.
Seems almost like some permission to feel the freeze.
Mm. Which that automaticity of trying to get away from the freeze never allowed.
Yeah. It feels like there's more of a falling into it than before it was just a falling away from.
Yeah. Yeah. And effortless, no working, no anything, just presence, loving presence. It's just simple, yeah. Curious. No agenda, no thing to work on, nothing to understand, just, yeah, simple.
Do you get a sense of anything else?
Profound willingness. And it's, to me, what's lovely is like somehow there's a sense in me of also being received through your system. So it's like it's backwards and forwards. It's just, yeah, it's very, yeah, equal and sovereign. It's just beautiful. It's just, yeah.
My heart feels really touched by feeling you, and at the same time, this other thing is happening.
Yeah, beautiful. Amazing how it can all be happening at the same time, huh?
Mm.
Yeah.
It's just when that mechanism starts, it feels like I lose that sweet spot.
Mm. Yeah, it can feel that way. And then allowing even that, because there's a knowing that's deeper than the feeling.
Mm.
And that knowing actually supersedes the movements of the feeling, yeah? Of the experiencing.
Mm.
Yeah. And we're not jumping over the feeling, it's included. We're not bypassing, it's included. It's wow, it's healthy, it's whole, everything's here.
I just spend so much time trying to get rid of it rather than include it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's understandable, you know, that's kind of how our culture, everything has been organized. But it's, yeah, something new is birthing, deeper capacity. And are willing to be honest and naked and vulnerable in it. That's also new, yeah? Yeah. Nothing to hide anymore, nothing, yeah, it can,
Yeah, it feels invited.
Mm.
Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you. Oh, beautiful.
So nice to see you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Marisha.
Hi, Isaac. Big trembling in the body today. The excitement and the pain and everything globally. Because there's a known personally, I don't have this. It's like so maybe freeze is also going away. Well, what is your feeling? How do you see me? Feel me?
See, to me, I would say that I know that that's a way of speaking. How do you feel me? But for me, I don't feel, what I feel isn't you. I just feel the nervous system. So, and I know that that's not you. I know that that's just different organizations to do with human expression. Yeah, it's not personal, actually. The tendency is to take it personally.
No, I don't do it anymore. Not now.
Yeah.
So you know the strong feelings also in your system.
Of course.
And maybe it's more easy for you to come to the peace and calmness or what?
To me, you know, it's not a question of coming to the peace. I am the peace.
Yeah, you are. Yes, I mean this.
And so for me, as that peace, this is all welcome here. No matter how much it feels like dying, like no reason to be alive. No, you know, it's like all the other things that come up at the moment. It's just
there's
in a sense,
panic of
in a
dying.
sense, yeah, it's been like, you know, this has been under the surface for a long time now, and now it's all showing up, and we're seeing it, and we're feeling it, and and a number of us have been journeying together, and you know, maturing in our capacity to be space for this. To whatever extent, without a push, without an idea even, just naturally, that's been a learning process that's been going on. And it surprises us even. Wow, what we're capable of being here.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it's amazing. Wow. Yes. And how good to be together in this.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. And I was also really touched what Ina shared. And she said nearly everything I wanted to say. But one sentence came. I'm sure that love will win. I believe in this. I believe.
So let's just slow that down for a second.
Yeah. Okay.
This moment, don't move from here.
Okay.
No movement, no hope, no. If this is our last breath and this is what we leave this dimension with, the world being just like it is, can we leave and say thank you? No winning, no losing, just life expressing. And wow. We've stayed true to what we're in love with here.
Yes.
Regardless of expression.
Yes.
That love will win looks positive, but it's actually a movement from here.
Yes. Thank you. I can see it. Yes. Yeah. Another thought. Another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The rats are coming out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, it's wow. Gratefulness. Overflowing. Thank you, Isaac, again and again.
Hello, Isaac.
Hello.
Rainer here.
And hey.
How do you sense this nervous system today?
Like a little bit more movement than I've sensed at other moments. It's just like there's a little movements going on, but it's not a problem at all. It's just,
okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because my feeling for it was it's quieter than in other moments. So
there's a quietness underneath the movements.
Okay.
That I sense, but there's also these movements happening, and sometimes, and it's not a problem. Like I said,
no,
it's just,
not at all.
yeah.
Do you feel invited?
Very much.
Oh,
yeah. There's
that's
nothing.
lovely to hear.
Yeah, there's nothing in the way. Just like the next layers revealing themselves in the sweetest way. It's just, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Isaac.
Hello.
Anything you noticed?
Love, love, and more love. Yeah. Yeah. Where do you go when you leave?
France.
France. Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to my dad.
oh beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it will be interesting to see.
For sure.
Yeah. Lots of love. And thank you.
Yeah, and yeah. Shall we?
Grit would like to speak.
Good.
Hi, Isaac.
I see you there. Can you see me?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Nothing to say.
That's good.
Thank you. Hello, Isaac.
Second.
Yep,
Hi, Shampa.
I can see you.
Yeah, beautiful.
I have the same question like Rainer. Do you feel invited?
Mm. Yeah, it's like this, this such a sweet exploration of just all the nuances of just resting it together. It doesn't go in the direction of invited or not invited. It's more just this uh, our culture has not invited meeting really and vulnerably and deeply, and the fact that we can rest together like this and just not move, you could say, wow, it's so amazing. It's a privilege. Mm. Like really listening very finely and just I don't hear you. Eva, you muted on my end. I don't hear you. I don't know if you were talking to me.
No, I was talking to Sakib, but
Okay.
Laura is
Okay.
is next.
Okay, great. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Isaac.
Yeah.
You see me?
Yes, I do. Do you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
The meeting's been very, very, very strong. For me, I'm feeling I came in with some seeing of a lot of things where I wanted to see if I could do it differently, and so just to sit with that the whole time is just watching so many tendencies arise of different things and not moving in them is
It's quite remarkable, eh?
I haven't felt this intensity of energy for a long time. I don't want to put too much attention on it, but it's just interesting.
Yeah. Could you describe just, it's not so easy to describe like sensations, but just seeing what comes if you.
Well, Well, it's changed throughout the meeting. When something big is shifting in me, I get a tickly throat, which used to come out in a lot of coughing. So I noticed that coming, and then that moved to my head. So starting to get a headache and feeling a bit sick, and just my muscles feel very... and in that, just a lot of vibration. I don't know, I don't really know the language, but a lot of energy.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
And like I said, lots of tendencies coming up, kind of knowing where this has come from, a situation that I'm in, and knowing the pattern I always follow. And then I caught that today and was like, it's such an invitation to do this differently. And by noticing that, then all the emotion of that rises, and the fear and the panic. And
if you had to describe the dynamic that your system has kind of been moving in, not that you've been moving in, but that it's been moving in with, from all the input it's had from all your ancestry. Could you name it, and just, was it only if it feels right to you, if it feels like it's not too vulnerable to speak it?
I mean, like all these things, there's so many different parts, which is where you end up getting lost in the mind. But ultimately, it's a fear of living life and letting go into things moving forwards and change and doing the next thing, a fear of that, and wanting to stay in safety, which isn't overly fulfilling, but it's safe.
It's familiar. It's familiar. It's not even safe. It's just familiar, because it doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel safe. It feels afraid.
Yeah, and it's very unknown. And I was telling someone about it yesterday, and they said to me, "You sound excited," and that flipped me out. I was so mad that they got that I felt excited, and as I looked into it, actually there was a bit of excitement, but I was so afraid of it.
Because it's coming alive. Do you want to play?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had 5 minutes left to live and there was something you just had to say before you died, what would it be? Just see if anything comes without, just comes spontaneous.
I mean, I know you're looking for a kind of spontaneous answer, but in the other meetings you've had, it's been interesting to watch, because it changes. When you were talking, I don't know who you were talking to earlier, but you were talking about the world and how, these policemen are now bowing down to Black people and all this stuff. And because of where I'm at and I'm feeling so sensitive, I couldn't even take that in. And there was a contraction around even hearing about the good things. And that bothered me. And then later on, you were talking to somebody else, and something was said about, I think somebody said the potential of love, and you said not to even go there, just to be here. So then when I was like, just to be here, I don't even need to go there into the potential of love or the good things in the world. I can just be here. And in that, it felt much more spacious. And then actually I could let that love in. So it's very much, so now you're asking me if I had 5 minutes. Well, nothing really, just that I just want to be here, not even like as fully as I can. I just want to be here.
Yeah, how beautiful. How beautiful, yeah.
I can't, the other stuff is, even the good stuff over there is too much.
Yeah. Just here.
And there's a lot of guilt around feeling bad about the good stuff.
Yeah, but you know, like that, even that, let it be here.
Mm.
You know, there's a quality to me of like when there's a meeting and you just resting together. There's no agenda for it to go in any direction. There's just, yeah.
Yeah.
And every little movement is welcome.
That's the thing. I want to rest in every nuance, because the minute something's asked for me over there, it's too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So in this resting here now, just resting here, feeling each other, sensing each other's signals, just watching where something in us gives ourselves away, or tries to please, or tries to do something to be liked or loved, and or any of the little movements that, you know, like where it makes itself small, or just everything is welcome. And knowing that every little seeing is so valuable and so beautiful.
There's so much, it doesn't know what to look at first.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Don't have to look anywhere. Just, it knows. Just allowing it just to flood in, you know, it's okay. I love how everything can just be here. It's quite remarkable, Lara. It's beautiful to me.
There's such a strong, it's the only thing I feel I can do.
And it's, in truth, it's not even a doing. It's just
that's
like
the thing.
It's just a resting and allowing, you know, somehow there's enough feeling safe enough to let everything just be here.
I think that's the difference. Like, everything else is a doing, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
But there's always something that is trying to stop me doing this as well.
And how beautiful that can be seen. You know, it's doing its program, and you just see it. It's like you don't have to stop that or change it. You just notice, wow, that's been playing under the surface probably your whole life, Now it's showing itself. Yeah. Thanks for taking the opportunity to rest together and explore. It's exquisite.
Yeah, thanks. Gonna mute.
No, Isaac, I think it's my turn. Bettina.
Ah, Bettina, I see you in the...
Hi.
Nice. How's it to meet like this?
Actually, I don't know. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, yeah.
Very happy.
Ah, beautiful. Mm.
I'm very happy that you're here.
Mm. Feels like something's getting more and more soft and more vulnerable. Not always comfortable when it gets that soft and vulnerable, but beautiful.
Why is that so uncomfortable? It's
we,
crazy.
you know, it's like it's not part of our culture. We used to meeting on such a superficial level, and yeah, so it's like, whoa, to meet that deeply and that vulnerably and that really, it's like, whoa, it's yeah, it's just, but it's exquisite at the same time. It's just, yeah. Mm. You know, even in our most intimate love making, a lot of times we're not really there. We're busy with, you know, it's like, so this is, yeah, it's a different quality of meeting. That's, yeah.
Up till now, it was only busy with doing it right and good,
Yeah, yeah,
healing
yeah.
the others. And
Yeah, all that. Yeah, this is much more vulnerable than that. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Well, thank you.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi, Leilani.
Yeah.
I see you. Can you see me?
Yep. Yep.
Great.
Just want to laugh. It's like this joy just welled up. Beautiful resting, Isaac. Thank you.
Thank you.
Monica would like to speak.
Hello, Isaac. Can you see me and hear me?
I do. I see you and I hear you.
I'm a little bit excited now. Whew. Because at first I want to share something with you and the Sangha. The last time when we talked together, it was okay. And after this, there came an old automatic pattern of you are not okay, to feel judged from you, and your feeling is not right or not true. And I noticed this, and it didn't stay very long.
Oh, beautiful.
The peace, I told you about the peace was also there and is.
Yeah.
Now I told this and now I can rest with you. Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that.
At the moment, I feel there is a little pain in my heart, like a sword or a knife, you know. A little bit.
I can feel, yeah.
No, don't know.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Isaac.
Yeah, Andrew likes to speak.
Say again?
Andrew.
Andrew. Hey, Andrew.
Hi, Isaac. You hear me okay?
I hear you fine. You hear me and see me?
Yeah.
Perfect.
yeah, not much movement today.
Beautiful.
Just energy and yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. Just the words were coming like to connect for no reason. Just.
I love it.
Yeah.
And just allow in the presence, just it makes all these micro fine adjustments, you know, it's just yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for showing up for that.
Thank you for showing up for that. Yeah. Just beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. Okay, beloved. Thank you for showing up.